The reality in market today is that home reading has become an absolute necessity. Home and remote reading are the aspects of radiology practice today that are growing tremendously, especially after the pandemic. And along with that, there is a definite shortage of the radiologists to be available within the hospital. Because of that, the need for having a good workstation, good solution that duplicates the practice within hospital at home is actually an absolute necessity today. But at the same time, all remote reading is not equal, and it's not the same. So what has happened is there is a few different use cases that has developed in remote reading. One is when in emergency rooms somebody needs a consultation. Once in a while, one or two cases are to be reviewed. Occasional but frequent can happen. That's a use case. The second one is the most common one, where you need flexible scheduling. At the same time, you need to be able to support any of the overflow at the hospital, and then have a good work-life balance so people can read from home for a few days a week, versus having coming to the hospital a couple of days a week. And then there are folks who want to read full production at home, have full-time 24/7, whatever needs to happen, can read completely, have a full workflow at home. But the one that I mentioned about, the one for flexible scheduling and supporting overflow, and that has at the same time having a work-life balance, has kind of become the most prominent aspect of remote reading. And at the same time, there are cost pressures, there is deployment complexity, there's network structures. So Barco has a very flexible solution for all different budget needs, all three use cases, and that meets all the clinical demands as well. So for somebody who just wants to once in a while look at a case, we have a product that is a clinical review product but meets the minimum ACR luminance, so they can have a case or two read at home, which is very cost effective. But the most common ones are the ones you see here on this pod here. There's the one that dual 2MP, and then there is the 4 megapixel. This is a very effective solution because it has no bezel in the middle. It has a very high luminance. It meets and exceeds the ACR requirement for luminance. The pixel pitch is within the range of ACR recommendation, and at the same time, it has a built-in sensing mechanism, which you see here, our Barco's patented iGuard solution that actually in real time does the measurement. It is a fixed sensor, and at the same time account for the ambient light conditions, because when somebody's reading at home, you cannot control the ambient conditions. So having a multi-sensor system, high luminance, large screen area, and no bezel improves the productivity. And at the same time, from an IT and operational perspective, it is compatible with the Barco QOF platform. What you see over here, that actually allows them, the IT, to completely manage and have all the regulatory stuff, automation, so the radiologist has no responsibility. It's completely hands-free. All the QA functions are done interruption-free, so the radiologist can continue to read while all the testing is done, and the reports can be available remotely for anybody. The other thing that is very unique with the integrated solution with Barco and QOF, as well as the display, is that there is no need for any complex network. It doesn't have to be, you don't require VPN to access the data. This is a completely cloud-based solution, so it's always connected to cloud, and it allows the IT person to see if somebody's online, if they want to run any task or do updates. So from a clinical perspective, radiologist is getting everything they need for all the visible shades of gray. There is enough screen real estate to minimize image manipulation, so panning and zooming. And at the same time, for IT person, there is an automation of having regulatory compliance as well as all the updates. So, and this in combination with a small footprint workstation can be a really simple, slick solution to install at home, where it doesn't require huge desk space and fits the need from clinical, operational, and financial perspective.